community with startups and you're considering investing in them, there's a social element to it. I suppose that's always there. But once you start investing in companies, then you really want to know how they're putting your money to work, and you want to see metrics and you want to see reporting. So I suppose the relationship becomes a lot more structured. You have your eye on the prize. They, should be talking to you about how they're making their way to the prize. So I think it makes the relationship much more structured and I think much more productive ultimately.
Once an investment happens, the relationship fundamentally changes, and that's because the investment firm is now committed. They now have skin in the game. They've percentage the company. It's in their interest for the company to succeed, because up until the moment of investment, if anything comes up, the investor can still pull out. Whereas once the investment is complete, obviously the investor is not potentially as committed, but is very strongly committed to that company and for it to succeed. So there is definitely a change in relationship, but I think it's more a case of we're all in this together. It may not necessarily be a change in the way that people interact.
We're slightly different in that obviously we're very involved in a business, so we might be the only employees a founder has in their business for 6 or 12 months, so we're obviously very involved as part of the investment. After that kind of 6 to 12 month period, and sometimes it runs longer than that depending on the project, we try to maintain good relationships with the founders. Depending on the size of our investment, we may have a board seat, which might have us very involved, but in a lot of cases we're kind of a passive investor and we're there to support the founder and the management team, and it's really up to them as to what they're looking for from us at that stage. Obviously we are invested in the company, we want them to see them do well, and if we can help and encourage in some way or create connections, we're delighted to do that.
So our goal when they're with us is to get to a point where it's a validated business model, and if they have that, they'll raise their seed round of investment. So once they've raised that, we don't kick them straight out of the building. So we have space where we keep them in for about 6 to 9 months after the program. But I suppose my advice to them is when they do raise their seed round is to have a plan and to maintain the discipline that I suppose we instilled in them while they were on the accelerator program.
When I decided to invest in these early stage companies in New York, I really wanted to get involved with them, because not only do you want to be close to companies that you're investing in and understand their challenges and see where you can help them out through your networks or through your knowledge, but you also want to learn from it yourself.
At the end of the day, I'm only here to help you, guide you, but I'm not going to criticize you if you have achieved half of what you want to do or not, because it's your business. You work for yourself. We're here to advise. We're not here to with a stick or a carrot.
You are building a relationship. You are building a interaction with these people, and as a startup, you should be comfortable with your investor and happy. And these things take time. You cannot build a relationship overnight. So it is not to be underestimated.
But what you gain is that as they become part of your story, of your adventure, they know where you came from. They know that 6 months ago you tried to sell to such and such and didn't work, but they know why, as long as you've communicated well. So they're really your board, your group where you can share ideas that you may have about the business. It's not always easy. You can have doubts. And I think that's a group where you can express that.
Nobody knows the answers. There's no silver bullets. What you need is advisors, investors who give you time, who are focused on what you're doing, and asking them constantly, to come back to you and to help you out.